anybody else wanna come up here? What I want you to talk about is just the rationale. You don't have to be extremely detailed, right? Paraphrase things, shorten, get to the main points of whatever you're talking about. Give us a little logic of how you concluded some of these things, right? So we all understand your thought process. Did you guys email it?
I don't have access to my laptop, but I submitted it on Blackboard already.
Oh, you put it on Blackboard, okay. All right, see if I can pull it up. Christian, did you, email me?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll let him go first, and then you'll go second. Where you wanna go first?
Oh, you go first?
Yeah, I'll let him go first.
Okay.
So far we got Christian, Ryan, and John. You're John. Here you go, John, it's all yours. Let's see if we can just click on it. Nice setup.
Alright, so I guess it cut out, but basically the first level is the name. And I have, my second level would be my 4 departments. I have my design department, my my material sourcing department, my manufacturing department where we're basically making the products, and then my shipping and sales department. They basically handle everything after the product is assembled. And then,
So you just kinda broke it up, right?
yeah.
A little bit.
we cut it,
Okay.
like,
Can you remember which?
Yeah.
which- okay.
so, over here we would have the. Anyway, so over there we would have the, design department. We would have I basically split it up into two parts. It would be the apparel design, so where we would have shirts, jackets, sweaters, and all types of jerseys and stuff. And then I have one where it's gear, but mainly just shoes right now. Soccer cleats, basketball shoes, and I think there was something else in there. And basically the plan was to have designs every 6 months, or every 3 months for different jerseys and apparel. So new designs, new lines dropping every 3 months. And then every 6 months to a year, basically at the end of seasons or halfway through seasons, we would have new shoes and new gear dropping, new colorways, new models, everything like that for the design part. For the material sourcing, I had some descriptions about the cost, and then I had an image of a listing on Alibaba for the specific textiles that I was planning on importing to use in my products. That's not the only listing, but that was kind of like the main one where I would get most of the materials from. And I added some costs in there, and then how we would get it from overseas to here. I talked about shipping and then import a little bit in there. My other one was manufacturing. So manufacturing, I talked a little bit about having 2 factories in the United States, and one of my processes at the beginning of the company would be to hire skilled labor, basically people that know how to make basically work with these type of textiles, because they have a different type of sewing and knitting process compared to regular like cotton, wool, polyester, and things of that nature. So I talked a little bit about like wage structures and how we'd go about like sourcing the factories and then getting the specific machines needed for making the products, and then hiring the labor. And then in my last one, the sales column, I was talking about how we would plan on selling in like sporting stores like Dick's Sporting Goods, Cabela's, and then online retailers like worldsoccer.com. And then we also plan on just selling from our own specific website. And one of the processes that we had in the sales portion was a lot of our sales employees, our specific sales employees would handle shipping and sales within our own website and dealing with UPS, because I chose UPS as our delivery service, because looking at like delivery times and cost, UPS seemed the most reasonable in terms of like time it would take to ship. And then for selling in like Dick's Sporting Goods and everything, we just make use of their employees. And then my last one, my third structure would be the human resources department, and in this department I decided to just clump up all of the legal teams, the HR department, and the payroll, like basically all the management section, and then kind of talk a little bit about how many members, how many will be like legal, like lawyers, and then approximate salary for each of the lawyers, to be exact. And then HR didn't go too much in depth because I'm not really too familiar with HR, like salaries and then training and everything, but I think about it.
Any questions from you guys?
Oh, sorry, one thing I forgot to mention. So the first process would be the sourcing of the materials. My second process, which I added, would be the assembly and then knitting of the materials. And then the third process would be actually either delivering to a brick and mortar store or the sales of the product from our proprietary online store.
And that's what you deem to be the most efficient way of going about that?
Yeah. So we would basically be basically splitting our inventory half and half between what we sell from ourselves and then what we ship to brick and mortar stores that would carry our products.
Why would you, not sort of, maybe create the clothing yourself? Like, are you outsourcing like the materials and stuff?
No, so we're sourcing the material, we're bringing the materials from China, from a factory in China. And then we're like, knitting the, like actual like textile together and then basically assembling the product ourselves.
So you just get the raw material from China,
Yeah.
assemble here.
Here and then sell to separate methods, yeah.
Gotcha. And then retail locations primarily, or are you mostly online?
We're splitting half and half. Well, proprietary, our own website would be about half of our inventory, and then the rest of our inventory, the other half would be split around, I think the main ones would be Cabela's and Dick's Sporting Goods, and then some, state specific. I know some states have like specific sporting stores that are available in other states. And then, it would be like on other websites like worldsoccer.com for like cleats, like soccer cleats, or if there's a basketball equivalent on that type of site.
Okay, so you have licensed retailers who could carry your products in certain stores that you then you have your own stores
Yeah.
as well too, so you're just kind of mixing it
Mhm.
all up. Do you think that's the most efficient way, like that process?
Yeah, so I chose this because we could distribute us, like our proprietary store, and then the websites could distribute worldwide, and then for more internal sales, we would really push the brick and mortar store, and then having people come experience the product before like purchasing, like seeing what the
Yeah.
product is about, and then deciding, okay, we could invest in this or choose a competition if they so wish.
Okay, interesting. Questions? Why so many lawyers?
So, my Microsoft project didn't work, so I did it in Word.
Yeah.
And then I didn't, like, see this box would be like in this row, but then this
Yeah,
box
yeah,
was
yeah.
like that row.
Yeah.
So I decided I'll do arrows, but I guess
Okay.
when I submitted it,
This is how it came out.
Yeah.
You could go back over the work. And just for reference, like I know you got a lot of you don't have the Microsoft program for this. You could do it in a Word, you could do it through Excel. You know, I think Excel would actually be a lot easier. Excel, you could just, put it out in a graph and stuff like that.
for me, when I downloaded it onto my computer, so like I submitted it and then I went to my submission link, and then I had to download it again for it to come out, like.
The format looks messed up
Yeah.
when you upload.
When you just,
Yeah.
when you open it through like Blackboard.
Well, you know, think of it, so, maybe if you got it perfect like you want it, you could do a screenshot. Screenshot it, save that way the
Oh,
image
that's
won't
amazing.
change at all.
Okay.
You know, if it's like just your graphs and representation of your boxes, so you screenshot that and just add that to the document. Which is always like, hey, use your own creativity to solve any problem, right? But, okay, but still, why so many lawyers?
Cause like I said.
Was it 50 lawyers that you actually thought about?
No, so like, there's different, 50 lawyers?
Yeah, lawyers.
Well, I wanted to split about 25 and 25 for international licensing, because like the products are going international also, so like dealing with all the, agreements and laws of other nations and like what can be exported and how much can be exported or imported.
Mhm.
Then 50 to deal with like potential lawsuits or, intellectual property, like, cause like, let's say our design is similar to like a competitor's, but not exactly.
Yeah.
We would need somebody to deal with like the potential disputes between our company and Nike, Adidas, in short.
Gotcha. But, that's about 120,000 for each.
For each, yeah.
So but think about that too, right? Like you say, hey, I'm kind of concerned that I'll be, ripping off people's designs, or someone's gonna say I'm doing similar to what they are about lawsuit. That's also a strategy as a process. Like, do I worry about that just in time, right? Do I hire lawyers if that happens? When that happens? Do I have 50 general counsels that's actually part of our organization sitting around not doing nothing when there are no lawsuits? And, maybe 2 people just research the US Patent and Trademark Office, stuff like that. So that's something to think of too, because I know that that's a concern for a lot of people I know starting clothing companies and things like that. They're always concerned that, they're ripping off Ralph Lauren or Puma or Nike, and they're gonna come after them. Really, that stuff's sort of very hard to prove.
Yeah.
A lot of designs are very, very close to each other. All right, excellent, I like that. Any other questions? Thank you. I like that you worked with what you had, regardless of the challenge that presented, so.
Thank you.
Christian,